Hey everyone, Brandon here with Richie Creative. Hey, if you're looking for a channel that has resources for pastors and church leaders, helping you use your website as a tool to convert website visitors into actual visitors to your church location, you've come to the right place. Don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, click the notification bell so that you're informed when a new episode or new training content comes out. Let's continue to learn together and grow together. Welcome to the channel. We're glad you're here. So in this video, I'm going to give an overview of what we train our churches and ministry leaders on in terms of setting very clear objectives and goals for their church website. Again, you could have a beautiful website from a look and feel perspective or even a marketing perspective, but if you're not actually putting goals or associating your website with actual things that you wanted to achieve, objectives, goals, then it's not going to do anything. You're not going to actually have any progress, or your website's not going to do what you want it to do if you don't actually know what you want it to do. And so setting goals is just part of it. You also want to measure those goals and track those goals as you go along. And then you want to just figure out what are the things that we can be doing to put kind of gasoline on the fire, so to speak, for one of your goals or two of your goals or three of your goals, so that you can continue to kind of accelerate those different parts of your website strategy. So I think a good place to start would be just looking at a typical growth chart. Really, if you set any kind of goal, whether it's a personal goal, a business goal, a financial goal, then you're pretty familiar with this. You have, of course, your results, and then you have time. So any goal can be measured by results over time. And, most people, they wish that their results over time growth chart looked like this, very linear, very predictable. And it's just kind of a straight shot. But the fact is that's not how goals happen, or that's not how goals are achieved, especially in ministry and in the church world and with website design specifically. Your growth chart is actually going to look a lot more like this. And so you're going to, of course, start smaller. So you can see in this section right here, there's very minimal growth. In fact, this is why a lot of pastors and church leaders get burnt out, specifically as they're thinking about their website. Why isn't my website working? Why isn't it performing? I have it built. It looks great from a design perspective. I'm implementing a lot of the right strategies and principles into my website, but why am I not seeing any kind of results? So part of this is just being patient and waiting long enough. You can see if you wait long enough on the growth chart, you're going to start seeing some success. But in addition to time, you want to make sure that you're doing the right things so that your church website strategy is moving in the right direction and not the wrong direction. And I believe that there's basically three things that you want to be doing in relation to your goals and your objectives on your church or ministry website. Number one, you want to make sure that you're setting SMART goals. For instance, if you're trying to lose weight, you don't say, my goal for the year is to lose weight. You would say, my goal is to lose 10 pounds by March by doing these things. Being at a caloric deficit of 500 calories, going to the gym 3 times a week and doing these key lifts or these key exercises. So that would be an example of a SMART goal, but it's the same for your church and for your ministry. But it's not enough to just set a goal. You also need to measure your goals and track them to make sure that you're on course and not off course. And then you need to be thinking through what are the key actions or the critical actions that I can be taking on a daily, weekly, monthly, or quarterly basis to achieve those goals and to make sure that we're pushing things in the right direction and that we're not going off course from our objectives and from the goals on our church website. So I believe that there are actually 4 different categories of goals that you need to be setting for your church or ministry website. And those are daily, weekly, monthly, and quarterly. So an example of a daily goal might be page count, right? So the amount of visitors that are coming to your website from various sources, or it could be the amount of emails that you're collecting on your church website. We talk about the follow-up funnel all the time, basically giving free value or a free resource to potential church visitors to get their name, get their email address so that you can continue to follow up with them, inviting them to special events, inviting them to your church, letting them know what's going on in the life of your church. But those might be daily goals. Again, you want to be very specific and make these SMART goals. So don't just say get more email addresses. Say each day I want to acquire 4 new email addresses, or each day I want 120 new visits to a certain page on my website, or something like that. The second category here is weekly. So what are the things that are easy to track weekly in terms of your goals or the goals that you want to set weekly? This could be related to live streaming. So how many people are viewing your live stream on Sunday mornings? The other thing from a weekly perspective might be giving. So that might be a good goal or a good metric that you want to set a goal for or that you want to track week over week. The next category here is, of course, monthly. So what are the things that you're trying to accomplish monthly? It could be, the amount of volunteers that are signing up through your website to serve on Sunday morning. And then quarterly, what are the things that you're doing quarterly? Well, every single quarter you have some sort of event, right? In the summer, you have your summer camps. In the spring, you have Easter. In the fall, you have like trunk or treat or something like that. And then, of course, in December or in the wintertime, you have Christmas. And so what are the things that you're doing on your website to help to push people to those different events so that, again, you can invite new visitors, but then you can also nurture the visitors that are currently attending those different events, hopefully inviting them as actual, regular members to your church or to your ministry. So again, it's not enough to just set goals. You do want to set SMART goals, daily goals, weekly goals, monthly goals, and quarterly goals, but you also want to track your goals. So if you've ever tried to, for instance, train for a half marathon or run a race or lose weight or hit some sort of financial target, you probably have a spreadsheet or an app that's like tracking your progress. You want to do the same thing here with these website goals and these website objectives, just to make sure that you're on course and not off course. One way to do this would be to just create your own Google Sheet or your own Excel sheet where you're kind of tracking your progress, tracking your metrics. So that's a more manual way to do it. There's also services like DataPad or Datatable, which basically connect to Google Sheets. They connect to your social media accounts. They connect to your live stream service or your YouTube channel. And basically it tracks all of that for you. At a glance, you can see the amount of new visitors to your website or to a specific page of your website. You can track, your giving, how much has giving increased or decreased this month versus last month. It can connect to your email campaign, so you can see how many people have signed up for your newsletter, how many new email addresses have you acquired. And so this is really great because basically at a glance, it gives you a dashboard and you can see right away, hey, are we on track for these daily, weekly, monthly, and quarterly goals? And then if you're seeing a bottleneck in one of them, if there's a certain goal that's not actually working the way that it should be, or you're not really making the progress that you want to make on that specific goal. And so what I would do is I would ask myself, what is the bottleneck in terms of all these different goals on my church website? Where's the biggest friction point or the biggest bottleneck or the goal that's not performing as well as it could be? Or maybe it's the least performing goals of all the other goals that you've set. And then what can we do over the next 90 days or the next quarter to basically just attack that bottleneck and transform it into a strength? So you probably have heard the term OKR, objectives, key results, or maybe lead measures and lag measures. Basically what we're saying here is there's certain lag measures, which is the result that you want, right? So the lag measure would be we're getting X% of new visitors into the church every single Sunday morning. Your lead measures would be what are the things that we're practically doing, the critical actions that we're taking every single day, week, month, quarter to basically hit that goal, hit that objective. So those would be your lead measures that are then giving you your lag measures. And so let's talk about it. What are the things that you could be doing daily for your goals, weekly for your goals, monthly for your goals, quarterly for your goals to make sure that you're actually hitting the goals for your church or ministry website? So just for example, let's say that you are trying to attack the bottleneck of not having enough new visitors coming to your church on a Sunday morning. Well, what are the things daily, weekly, monthly, and quarterly that you can do to try to reach that goal or reach that objective? Well, daily, you could be posting more on social media. So has your church been posting once on social media? Well, maybe that is the lead measure that needs to be adjusted. Maybe you need to be posting 4 or 5 days on social media instead of just once. So that'd be adjusting a lead measure to then affect a lag measure of getting more people or X% more people that are new people coming through the doors of your church every single Sunday morning. So that would be a daily task or a daily critical action that you could take. What about a weekly critical action? Well, maybe sending emails. Maybe it's your email campaign where you were sending one email every couple of weeks. Maybe you need to send one email to all of your potential visitors to your church once a week or maybe twice a week, but it could be your email campaign. So again, that'd be an example of a critical action that you could take on a weekly level to then affect the lag measure of getting more people into the doors of your church. On a monthly level, maybe it's some sort of free parent content, right? You're giving content to parents to help them, minister to their kids, and it's something they can download right from the website. Then, they give you an email address, and then you're able to kind of put them into a nurture campaign. Or maybe it's some sort of training event. Maybe it's your lead pastor going through like a marriage training on how to strengthen your marriage and 5 easy steps or something like that. But basically you're helping other people. You're giving out free value or free training. Maybe that's something that you do monthly to then hopefully just entice people to say, hey, you know what? I'll give that church a try. Let's check them out. I want to visit on Sunday morning. So again, that could be something that you could be doing on a monthly level. And then on a quarterly level, again, we talked about it earlier, but every quarter there's some big event, whether it's a summer camp or it's trunk or treat or it's Christmas or it's Easter. And so on a quarterly level, getting involved in the community, having different events, and that could be another great opportunity to invite people then into your church and increase that percentage of people that are visiting your church on Sunday morning. So for each of these different lag measures, which would be your goals or your objectives, there are some lead measures or some key objectives that you could be doing on a daily, weekly, monthly, and quarterly level to hit those goals and reach those objectives. But the big point is you can't expect your website to perform the way that you want it to perform if you don't actually know what you want it to do. So again, I would work with your team or work with your staff, think through what are the things that we're actually wanting our website to do. Is it terms of, visitors on a certain page? Is it in terms of gathering email addresses to put them into our follow-up funnel? Is it in terms of the amount of people that are watching our live stream on Sunday morning, the amount of giving that we're getting on a weekly or monthly basis? What are those goals and objectives? Make them SMART goals, and then track them. Use some sort of tool, whether it's Google Sheets or something else, to track those goals. Make sure that you're actually on target and that you're on track and not off track. And then think through what's the biggest bottleneck right now, and how can we attack that in the next 90 days to then transform that bottleneck from our ministry and our church online into a strength. And so again, there's critical actions that you can take daily, weekly, monthly, and quarterly to then transform your bottleneck into a strength for your church and for your ministry. Well, hey, I know this was just kind of an overview on setting goals for your church website, tracking those goals over time, and then positively affecting those goals with some critical actions. I would love to know in the comments, what's the biggest bottleneck for you right now as a pastor, as a church leader, as it pertains to the goals that you're setting for your church website? Where's kind of the holdup? Where's the bottleneck? And then what's one thing that you could do even today or this week to start transforming that bottleneck into a strength for your church or for your ministry? Again, welcome to the channel. Don't forget to subscribe, click the notification bell so that you don't miss an episode. I'd love for you to be notified and informed when a new training video comes out so that we continue to learn together. We can continue to build websites that actually help to reach our different objectives, our different goals. I'm also going to include a link to a free training manual down below. It's called the Guide to the Perfect Church Website. Maybe you're a pastor or church leader and you just don't know where to start in terms of what stuff actually needs to show up on my website in different places. From a strategy perspective, this free PDF resource covers messaging and some marketing principles and some things that you can do to kind of make sure that people are having meaningful experiences on your church website. And so all of that, again, points towards your mission, points towards your goals. But if you don't know where to start, you can download that free training manual. Again, it's called The Guide to the Perfect Church Website. I'll link that down below. Or maybe you want to chat with me one-on-one or schedule a strategy session where we can actually look at your specific church website, give you some really good practical feedback from a strategy perspective on ways that you can increase giving and get more people through the doors of your church using your church website. Then I'm going to include a link down below where you can do that as well. I'd love to have a conversation with you and just chat through your website and see if there's anything that we can do to help you tighten up the strategy for your church website. Well, hopefully this video was helpful and beneficial. Hey, remember, you can't use up creativity. The more you use, the more you have. Stay creative, and we'll catch you next time.